Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, good. One sec. My headphones are misfiring. Hmm.
You mean it's like the audio sounds off for you?
Okay, nice. Okay, I think it's good now.
Yeah.
Ooh, how you doing?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Yeah, I sent you that a very simple video of a character moving his legs and walking. And yeah,
Yeah.
Blender is definitely so many submenus and like pretty disorganized when it comes to like getting a model to animate. It feels and
Yeah.
sort of yeah, there's like every tutorial is like slightly different to achieve the same result, and then everyone has like their little subjective thing that they like to do to like make the knees go in the right direction or whatever. uh and it's a bit puzzling because yeah, the like there's object mode and edit mode, which I've been familiar with in Blender, but now there's like pose mode where you're moving the bones, and then you have, I don't really haven't understood yet when I toggle between pose mode and edit mode, like the model changes location, and it's kind of based on like what, like it's hard to figure out what the default position is and what is a posed position.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and yeah, it's, I guess what I find is like I I spend like 10 minutes like doing the same thing like three times, and then I'm like, oh, then this must be the next, like then I learn the next step, and it's like such a slow process where I'm like fully drained of energy after like 10 minutes of like staring at like a
Uh-huh.
nonsensical like value, and then like a week later I'll be like, oh, like now that part, instead of feeling obscure, it feels like more familiar, so then I feel confident like putting one stepping stone on top. uh but then I finally thought like I built the legs and I animated them, and I was like, okay, now I'll animate the arms. And so I I hadn't like installed the bones in the arms yet, and but then I realized like there's, when I installed the arms, the model was like in some alternate coordinate space, and so it was off. And it's
Hmm.
very hard to figure out like, it's like, okay, like I've parented the bones to the objects, but like how do I unparent or reset or like go back to like I would love to just be able to be like, okay, wipe everything back to T pose, like I'll add some bones or whatever, but it's so hard to like every, yeah, you can parent things and like offset things, but it's so hard to understand like if you're just looking at a model, it's like what are the, everything's invisible. It's like what's the parent of this? How do you undo it? Like it's not the same key combo in reverse or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it's been, and hopefully though the result would be like a walking and a, I sort of debate like at one point I was trying to just take pre-built free animations from like Mixamo and apply them, but that has some kind of scale, like your bone structure has to be something, and something to do with like bone labeling and scale. Like one time I imported an animation and my character was really small, and it was like it was equally hard to like get it to be the right size and fix
Oh.
the weightings. Yeah, so then I was like, well, I might as well. I think I my solution is always try to find like a simple set of steps that gets like 90% of the job, that I can remember,
Hmm.
that I feel like I have control over. Because if I learn how to do like, even if the walking looks a bit robotic or whatever, I guess that's fine. But if I know like how to control a lot of the process, then I feel more like, okay, well, if I need to, let's say, make a cutscene where they drink a cup of coffee or something, then at least I could theoretically do that. I don't have to be reliant on like a pre-built animation, or because it is fun to imagine
Right.
like, could I, could I get to a point where I just build like a bone structure, and then in code like I can make the character climb a wall or hang from a wall more programmatically, so that,
Hmm.
because ideally I would love to have like just like a parkour style environment that follows certain like height constraints and stuff, and then just have the character model like react, like be able to wall jump and scale walls and vault things without like pre-built animations for certain set pieces, but just like be able to detect like if a thing is a certain height. It just everything's like automatic. It would feel fun, and the feet and hands could be like more dynamically positioned.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've been inspired by baby steps for that type of
For
thing?
inspired from what?
Baby steps.
Uh,
Mm.
yeah, baby steps. I think is like deceptive. It feels like it's a minimalist thing, but it represents like such. I don't even know if it's a mastery or because I've heard that like Bennett Foddy does like just for like endless rounds of tweaking physics values till he gets like everything to
Yeah, I
be like
saw that
twisted.
somewhere. That was
Yeah, so that
surprising to
seems
me, but yeah.
yeah, it seems like I guess that's the magic sauce, like just really caring so closely about the physics things. But yeah, that just feels like no way it all comes together that well because it just feels like surely there'd be like exploitable glitches or because anytime I use direct physics, it's just like, well, how high can the character jump? And recently though, I found a movement system where I could specify in like world height, like how high the character can jump. And that's kind of cool because now I actually know like how, I have more control over like the sizing of things in a level.
Yeah.
But I've been inspired by like as I'm playing, like I play Hitman Freelancer a lot and it's just it's really fun to learn the geometry of the sandbox levels and then really run like the game is not designed like he doesn't run that fast and even like opening a door has like a half of a second of lag, but what's fun is like just knowing the timing of how fast he takes out his gun and how fast opening a door and like going from like if you're running up to a wall when to press E to like vault the wall or whatever. uh and so it just kind of feels like a almost like a rhythm game where you're spinning the camera and glancing in different directions at different times
Mm.
and do this a certain like rhythm or pacing where you're like waiting for certain inputs to become available or pressing something that won't like finish for a second and then but then it's all comes down to like how fast can you move through a space under certain like constraints to sort of do a task and get out. uh and that just I feel like that movement system is very like I just have a vision in my head of like that kind of movement, like developing a relationship with a space through that kind of movement, uh, and having that like drive some kind of story, like you're just like a basically a walking simulator, but you kind of do a little bit more parkour style stuff. Probably pretty simple parkour for like my first attempt, just jumping and stuff. But like it feels kind of like what if a game was like almost like a fetch quest, but it's like it has a timer running and it's sort of like different times it's sort of testing you like how fast it doesn't care maybe how fast you're doing something, but you can go fast if you want. And uh I like the fluidity of like running around in third person as Agent 47 and then pulling out the gun and like specifically targeting something like precisely and then running
Mm.
off. uh so I think I want to do something. I don't want to add guns is the only thing, and so then maybe I'll figure out something where you're still sort of like precisely targeting things and running around. But hopefully, yeah, I'll do some kind of thing to avoid directly guns somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, it is like a tricky like it's like yeah, guns in video games are kind of fun. We can't can't
Yeah,
deny it. But yeah, it's like yeah, not like the most creative option or yeah.
yeah,
Um,
it's funny. Yeah,
yeah, that's cool. That's a cool direction. Like I feel like yeah, I see the Hitman freelancer stuff and feel like it's like the peak of some type of game. Like I don't know exactly what that is, but like stealth, immersive, um, Yeah, like I see the like appeal of like just getting things like really down with timings and everything. Um,
Yeah, just it sort of mimics like the heist mentality because
mm,
you're yeah, like you know, like you have the blueprints in your head, the layout, and then it sort of gives you like, at the last minute, like here's you, here's your target, and then you're running through like the your ideas, all these things, all the experiences you've had, sort of like pouring over the previous missions. You know the layout, and then you're sort of like I start off like running pretty fast, like across a field or something, then you're in like trespassing, so you can't be seen. Then there's like an opportunity to get a disguise. Then like it all comes down to like finer and finer grains of detail where like when you make the hit, the timing is like ultra sensitive and maybe it comes down to like which direction, like if two people are looking at each other, if you want like silent assassin, you have the order you take them out, the speed, the timing, like who sees what, who hears what. uh, it comes down to like this really precise, like specific moment, and then kind of flips, and then you're sort of like, let's get out of here fast, and uh, it's just like a fun, just like different phases, like sort of as you're running, you're sort of thinking and you're observing, and yeah, it's like real time planning and like progressively finer and finer detail to like a certain moment, and then trying to have some kind of plan to like reverse it and get out. Or and then there's also
yeah.
the height, like you're sort of sometimes you're grabbing, like there'll be opportunities like you pass like a guy that has a small amount of money or a guy with a certain weapon. There's like an opportunity for like a quick side mission where you make a judgment about like how fast can I handle this? Is it worth like getting that item or that money or that weapon or something
Mm.
for the additional risk of the mission or something? Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So many like real time decision points. Do you
Yeah.
ever pause, or do you try not to, or is that just kind of part of it, like being able to pause and like assess what to do?
Well, yeah, it automatically pauses like if you're looking at your inventory. So
Hmm.
you get kind of like a free pause. Yeah, I rarely do, only a little bit more now. Like if I screw up, I've been having like because I've been accumulating like higher amounts of money and higher stakes. So I do have like an incentive to like if I mess up and there's like five guys in a room, it's sort of like okay, pause and just kind of
Uh,
let's make a decision. Like it's like let's do the safest possible way to exit this situation and just kind of get to a hiding place. And uh but then I also, yeah, a little bit I'm getting into like I've rarely gotten like silent assassin because there's so many ways to blow that. But now
mm,
and silent assassin, like it always comes down to like the target is surrounded by other people and you have to like you have to like knock them out without killing the other people, without them seeing you knock them out, because if they see you like throw something at them for one frame, you lose it. And then like those bodies have to be like, I guess, hidden or something, and then or they have to be, it has to be like an accident. And yeah, and then you can take out the target. But that's where
yeah.
I guess I would get a little bit into pausing, but then I sort of go like, not I go for like how many, it's like sort of like how many levels can I complete in a fairly low risk way as fast as possible. And so pausing is sort of like, because I sort of want to collect as many weapons like as I can and prestige in like real world time as fast as possible. So then any pausing is only sort of like to minimize the chance of failure. Uh, but it doesn't help because usually I sort of know like the strategy is just like run, take cover, like sort of look. It's more like looking as fast as possible in different directions and seeing like is anyone like flanking you in a in an intense moment or something.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I can understand. Like, yeah, if you've had like lots of accumulation, then it's like, yeah.
Yeah, my friend was saying it's kind of sounds to him like Hotline Miami, uh,
Mm,
or like he that came to mind where yeah, Hotline Miami, just like throwing weapons, glancing around like the map, making decisions quickly, like uh, sort of yeah, like the sort of traversing space and then the precision of shooting and stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I only played like a little bit of that. I think, yeah, I want to go back to it at some point. But yeah, it's like a really I think like interesting lesson in how like I feel like for that game the soundtrack is just like
Oh yeah.
everything. Like it drives the whole game almost like in terms of like at least like the feel of it or like the emotions. Uh, and yeah, it's like a real like a lesson and um yeah, like things that
It
you might
definitely
not
it almost
expect.
is like it like forces one into like a state of flow. Like it's like
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's like an environment. Like Hitman is like that too. It's like an environment that demands like as much focus as you want to bring to it that can like the game rewards you the more you're sort of immersed and focused. And so there's like an incentive to use as much like focus and state of flow as possible, like same as yeah, Hotline Miami.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think about like yeah, like I wonder if like the difference between like Balatro and like some other games that I think are like almost as good that just like didn't break through is like maybe you know it's just like the soundtrack was really good like I don't I don't know but it's like it's just that one track that's just kind of mesmerizing and you can listen to for
Yeah.
you know a long time.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. There's a DLC. I've never really bought any DLC except for my initial purchase of the whole game and stuff. But there's
Mm.
DLC with some rapper or whatever. There's like a boombox DLC. You can have a boombox that you carry around in Hitman, and you
Cool.
can like turn on and off the music. I don't know the rapper's name, but they're fairly like well known. I'm just like forgetting what they are, and the song is apparently like popular as well.
Mm.
Uh, and I've seen it on Leo's stream at some point. But he had some kind of audio issue in the game where the music was like canceling or something. But uh, he it was a funny. He was like getting into a fight and shooting some guys in Hitman, and he thought it would be funny if you can just kind of like start the boombox and have that be like the killing anthem or something. You know,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Theme it
and that
yourself.
was kind of a funny thing because I feel it's hard for me to like I don't think I can be super ambitious with my min hacks game next October just from like my energy levels lately and stuff, but I
Yeah.
have a vision now that like it's like what if I could do like the Hitman movement but with like jumping, double jumping, and I could take that list of like 53 always fun things and kind of just play off that and do a couple like min-max vignettes and sort of like it would be a little bit of like a speed running game where you get used to the controls and then you start coming up with alternate ways to like you know complete the level faster and you're shooting targets or something and there's a little bit of like the inspired by the First Light training montage in there where you're jumping between
Mm.
scenes but then also like as a funny thing like you could carry like a boombox item and but it would play like a hip hop song from me or something
Yeah.
and then but then the hip hop song that I was thinking about maybe I'll write my next one is like I had my guy on Fiverr he took like the Hitman like Ave Maria song and then put a
Mm.
beat to it and I'll have to work back and forth with it a little bit because I sort of know now that I want a pretty subtle drums where it just has like a hard beat soft beat sort of flow and not a lot of like double drums or like triple drums or different effects like with the drums in between those major beats because I find that's best for like the way that my thing is like a constantly sort of rhyming and the rhymes should like drop on the beat and there shouldn't be a much to like distract you know in between or something
Mm. Yeah.
so maybe I'll Fiverr you can do these like revisions so maybe I'll have him like modify the drums but I also have to learn like how I want to do that but my idea was like in all of the Hitman levels everyone's always learning like alternate paths and things they didn't know that was there and like different weapons like special weapons you can find or collect in the levels and
Mm.
so so each level so it's like pretty much a great opportunity where it's like what if I just took every level and I listed like all the ways of traversing the map that I find useful and a handful of like weapons and stuff that I pick up like when I do my runs that I find that I basically that I want to remember because that's the main thing is like what if there was like a song that helps me remember like weapons are where on what map, and for like new listeners, maybe they would listen to it because they like Hitman, then they learn like alternate routes they didn't know about that are useful for getting to a certain location. And that would be kind of it would be fun to make that, because it would just be like a list of a bunch of good to know things for Hitman, which is
Yeah.
it's fun because it's like, yeah, people could listen to it and enjoy it and get the info, and it would help them remember the info. And it also gives me like a reason to just kind of document all the things that I know, which help me, that I should probably, like, there's a handful of weapons that I know about, and there's probably a few more that I'd like to get the motivation to like research so I can go get them easier, like from the maps.
Yeah. Yeah. Well scoped. Yeah. Also just like funny. That's like a very funny idea. Just like little tips for Hitman. Yeah.
The one verse that I thought was pretty cool is that people refer to silent assassin as like SA, and then there's silent assassin suit only, which means you have to do silent assassin and you can only wear the suit you start the level in, and that's called like SASO, and that sounds like say so. So I thought like
Oh.
it's kind of cool because it's like I could say something like a little minor brag and then be like, whenever I SA so, and like kind of, but make it sort of work for both ways. And I thought
Yeah.
that's like that's an Easter egg, and only people that like, see those letters would kind of be like, oh, that's a referring to like SA, like silent assassin suit only, and it works, and it's sort of like the assassin saying that like this happens, when I say so. And so I was like, okay, now I need like like 20 more of those, and then and then I'll have this.
Yeah. That's a heck of a start though. That's a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because like I currently don't. I'm very bad at like silent assassin because there's so many little like being seen by cameras and what items you're allowed to use and what counts as like an accident. And so
Yeah.
like collecting, like I need to go on forums and like collect all these little tips and weave together like sort of like a song that sort of teaches you like what's the safe routes and how do you negotiate like certain situations. Like if the target has, people observing them, what are the ways you can negotiate that? And then it would be sort of like educational for me, but then it would be a cool sounding song if it just really quickly like just delivered you like how do you cleanly do like hits in all these different locations on these different maps, with these little like tips and stuff. It'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah. 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 That's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I haven't played Hitman once, but I feel like I'm starting to learn about it just through watching like Leo and Haley streams and occasional Leo streams.
Right.
Um,
I started watching another guy, Atrioc, pretty entertaining like Hitman streamer. They do a thing called
yeah.
Hitman Horse where it's like him and
Yeah.
two other speedrunners. Like they're all like previous speedrunner world record holders. They're fairly young, and they do like just competitions where they just kind of grind for time, but you end up picking up like you end up learning. It's kind of fun to learn very specifically how the AI behaves, like the computer players in the game, because then you can really just be more confident. Like you can run across maps you didn't think of. You can like shoot the gun to panic. Like if you shoot the gun and the guards don't see where you are, they run to a certain spot, and you can like
Mm.
use that to kind of just like get through places. And uh, yeah, it's fun. It starts reminding me of like chess in that way, where like you're trying to get at the king, and as you learn more and more about chess, there's like efficiencies where it's sort of like all these pieces, like tons of pieces can be attacking you and the game can be just chaotic, but it's like if you can just cut right through, do the one move that ends the game and get out, then like you can ignore, like it's like all of a sudden all that stuff you thought you had to address and like balance and calculate, it doesn't matter because it's like there's like mate in 3, and that it's like how the enemy is going to react and how they have to react. And it's just fun to like see you look at like a big crowd in the game and you're like, most of these NPCs are fake, only a couple will actually see my weapon and care. and like they'll
Mm.
take this long to get to a guard, and by the time the guard gets back, I'll be gone, and I'll have a different disguise. And it's just sort of like, it's like you can pull off a hit, and it's like everyone can know about it. Like everyone can be so alerted, but you sort of know a fast way to just like correct that situation. And yeah, it's fun to like I remember back to like initially playing the levels and just feeling very restricted and seen by everyone, and now I'm just like running around and I just know like the timings and stuff, and it's fun to be in the same space but have, yeah, there's so many little like, I think, general things that are sort of revealed to me by this game, where it's like if you're in the same space and you have the same tools but you see things differently, it sort of highlights like the progression you've made in understanding this like interesting space. And that's like it's fun to feel like growth in that way.
Totally. Yeah, it sounds very similar to chess with like just like pattern recognition and yeah, I feel like it's like similar to
Yeah.
speed chess. Yeah. Sorry, my party just walked in. One sec. I'll be there in, yeah, just like 5 minutes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
All over.
We can end
No,
wherever
no.
your episode.
All good. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess one
Um,
other thing too is I really like controlling something with like abstract commands. Like I find even like working in Blender is like that a little bit too, where like you're looking at some kind of model or whatever, and then like there's a bunch of like keystrokes and like holding buttons and pivoting, and it's like the thing that's happening on screen is very unrelated to like the pattern of keystrokes and timing and stuff that's happening, but
mm,
it's like a one-to-one, like it's sort of like the vision, like the idea, the high level idea in my head is being translated into like the system, but the input method is like very foreign, and like even if I think about it, you can't even remember, like it's like muscle memory level, but it
yeah.
almost feels like, so then it feels like you're blending, like it feels like you've achieved like a new way of movement, or like an understanding of a space where like you can navigate and explore like a new space in a way that feels like second nature, by translating it like through this like keyboard mouse abstract thing, and that's always fun when I see people doing that a lot. It's like appealing to me. It sort of feels like what you can like see, like something's going on in their head where they're achieving a task that is not like related to like how they're moving, but they've like learned like a mastery of a new like instrument. I guess it's same with like playing an instrument or something. Like you're
Mm,
producing like this emotion, but you're like manipulating like a mechanical instrument in some way to like produce an effect. And it's kind of like a little bit magical, that I'd imagine, like I've never learned an instrument, but like to get to a point where you can just translate like how you're feeling into the song and not think about like the mechanics of using the instrument.
yeah, totally. Yeah, I played violin all growing up, but yeah, that was a real like there was a real click for me. I remember because I basically like didn't like it because it was
I
like
think
kind
so.
of the one. What's
Yeah.
that?
I also was in a violin class in school and remember not totally liking it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was just kind of the one thing my parents made me do. But I was like pretty good and did like some the orchestras and whatever. But I just never, I didn't really like the other kids. I didn't really like, yeah, practicing. Just like nothing about it was appealing. But then there was like one song, and maybe it was just me getting older. Um, it was I think called like Meditations by Thais or something like that. Um, and I remember just being like, wow, this is like actually a beautiful song, and playing it and like sort of feeling something for the first time, like playing violin like 10 years
Yeah.
into playing the instrument, and like my teacher was just like, "What? Where did that come from?" Like basically, like you played like with real emotion, like for the first time. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't play anymore, and yeah, I play ukulele sometimes, but it's I'm just a total beginner, and it's kind of hard to compare. It's like more like fun than like actually that level of like transfer of
Yeah.
emotion. Yeah.
It there's like I feel like I know how to motivate myself for different things, and like the way to do it with music would be like if someone told me like they put some instrument in front of me and they're like, here is the instructions on how to play like 5 different songs, and the 5 songs are each like a different emotion, and they could tell me like, these are the main emotions, like there's not so many emotions beyond these 5 or whatever, and then just be like, if you learn each of these songs and how to play them on the instrument, then like you now have the ability to communicate each emotion in like a copyright free way, like you just replay it, tweak it a little bit yourself, and there you go. You've produced like a new song that fits. Like one is background music, one is like a happy light tune, like the other one's like a, you know, uh, like a more ambient thing, and it would just sort of
Mm.
be like it'd be like, okay, like all I have to do is learn these 5 things, and then there's my 90% with like a short timeline, and then if I just keep playing them over and over again, I'm sure like at some point I'll start blending them, or like think it's not so hard to learn another one. Uh, but it
Yeah.
like I just need to be, because it sort of feels like it's always like learn your first song and then you're like, well, now I can play a song that sounds good, and everyone says you must be good at piano, but then you completely fail to play like any second song, and it's sort of like I've cheated now. Like I've now it looks like I'm better than I am, so it's immediately like discouraging, uh and then you sort of like I always feel like, but how long is it going to be till I can like invent my own stuff or play in general something? But I need like a middle ground goal where it's like, here's like the 3 songs that everyone agrees like sounds good, and simple instructions to play them. And once you now have this ability to spend time with the instrument and it doesn't sound bad, then you could, pick whatever other song. But I feel like I
Yeah.
just need
Yeah.
someone, like I need to like pay someone to put me inside that program where they're just like, like it takes this long, this many hours, these are the steps. Uh, I always feel like I have to invent my own program, but then it's never as like official. I want someone with authority to like tell me that it's gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with music in particular, like I find there's just like so many different modes of instruction that at least that I've come across, where people just will have completely different. Like there's some like like there's the Vivaldi school or whatever. Uh, it's like I don't know, like every kid in grade school in Ohio did for violin. But like I don't know, as an adult at least, when I was like, messing around with other instruments, it's just kind of like yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's like from depending on cultural background and everything, like there's just like a million different approaches to learning music because it's such a, like an open-ended uh,
Yeah.
yeah, practice. All right, well,
Well,
I
yeah,
should
yeah,
head
you can
out.
edit.
But
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for talking. See you, yeah, next week.
Yeah. See you next time. Bye.